President Balski. Senator Hutchinson Regent Hall Provost fits the amazing faculty. And of course, the proud graduates of 2015. What an honor to be here tonight, as we celebrate one of the biggest milestones in your lives. Ever since I was a kid, my mother dreamed of seeing me become a doctor. But life had its own plans, and I ended up wearing a military uniform instead of a white coat. And though I know she would have been proud of my service, I'm sure part of her still wished I had gone into medicine, and right now she's probably looking down, wondering what her son could possibly say to such an extraordinary group of future doctors. And honestly, I was wondering the same thing. But then I realized something. In my 60 years on this earth, I've spent a lot of time on the patient side of medicine, like many of you. I've been through it all. I had the broken bones, the childhood illnesses, the heartbreak of watching loved ones battle cancer and dementia. I've felt the pain of injury and the long road to recovery, and I've seen the chaos of war where brave soldiers fought to survive in field hospitals, where some made it through and others didn't. But I've also witnessed miracles. I've seen people walk again after being told they never would. I've seen lives saved when hope was almost gone, and I've seen the light return to someone's eyes after darkness set in. So, today, with all that experience, I'd like to offer some advice. Not from a textbook, but from a lifetime of being where your patients will be on the receiving end of your care. Whether you're finding the cure, delivering the treatment, or performing the surgery, this is for you. From the heart of a patient. First and foremost, I want my doctor to be sharp, to be informed, to be relentless in their pursuit of knowledge. I want to look at that degree on the wall and know that it took hard work, resilience, and brilliance to earn it, because that's what sets you apart from everyone else. You chose the hard road and you made it. And from this day forward, your journey of learning never ends. Medicine is always moving forward. And so must you always seek new answers, dig deeper, ask questions, share what you know, and never stop growing. Because your patients will be counting on you to be the one with the answers next as a patient. I need to know that my doctor is in control. Walk in the room with confidence. Carry yourself like someone who has done this 1,000 times before. Even if your day has been hard, or your personal life is in chaos, leave it at the door, because when you show up in that room, it's showtime. We take comfort in your presence. We draw strength from your composure. Never underestimate how powerful it is for a patient to see that their doctor is calm, collected, and completely in command of the moment. Also, listen, and I mean really listen. Sometimes the answer isn't in the lab results or the textbook. It's in what the patient tells you. I had a friend after the first Gulf War who started losing his memory and coordination. Doctors brushed it off, called it stress, even accused him of faking it. But he knew something was wrong, and eventually he was diagnosed with Gulf War syndrome, a real and debilitating condition caused by toxins released during the war. If someone had just listened sooner, he could have gotten help faster. So never ignore the voice of the one sitting across from you. They might not have the medical terms, but they know their own body. Trust what they say. Now let's talk about faith, and I'm not just talking about religious belief, though. That may be part of it. I'm talking about the understanding that you won't always have all the answers, and that sometimes something greater than medicine takes over. I once visited a soldier in Germany who had been shot 15 times. The nurse who had seen everything was near tears, because she knew his survival defied all logic and all medicine. She looked me in the eye and said, "We had nothing to do with it. Sometimes you'll need to believe in miracles, because patients need to know that their doctor sees more than just charts and symptoms. They want to believe that there's still hope when all else seems lost. And speaking of hope, that might be the greatest gift you can give, even when the odds are stacked against them. Your words can lift a patient's spirit. 5 years ago, I was diagnosed with chronic leukemia. I was in Afghanistan at the time. The first doctor I saw told me to prepare for a life of chemo fatigue and pain. it was a punch to the gut. No encouragement, no light at the end of the tunnel. But then I went to Texas and met a doctor who walked in, hugged me, cracked a joke, and told my wife not to worry, that something else would probably kill me first. And just like that, he took away the fear. He gave me the strength to go back into service and keep fighting. And that gift gave me the courage to help others. Because sometimes hope is the real cure. And then there's healing. And I don't just mean fixing a broken bone or removing a tumor. I mean real healing. The kind that touches the mind, the heart, and the soul. You'll have moments when medicine won't be enough, when the data doesn't help and the science runs out. And in those moments, it will be your touch, your presence, your compassion that makes the difference. Maybe it's a hug, maybe it's a simple word, maybe it's just being there. Sometimes that's all it takes to heal. Now let's talk about strength, emotional strength, because there will be moments when you're the one delivering the worst news someone will ever hear, when you have to be the anchor in their storm. I remember a young doctor who had to call the parents of a soldier who died in a crash. The father later told me that even through the phone, he could feel the doctor's strength, and that helped him carry on. Those are the moments that define you. And finally, compassion. And let me tell you, it might be the hardest of all to hold on to day after day, patient after patient. It's tempting to shut it off, but never do that. I once saw a doctor who fought to save 2 of my men in Afghanistan. He tried everything, but both were lost. And after the second one passed, he sat down against the wall, blood on his clothes and tears in his eyes. And in that moment, I saw the heart of a true healer. And I finally understood why my mother wanted me to be a doctor. It was because of moments like that. Moments of courage and kindness, of pain and grace. And now it's your turn. You'll have thousands of those moments in your career. The chance to restore faith, to ease pain, to offer hope, and to bring healing to people who desperately need it. It all begins right now, because from this day on, you are the doctor to the class of 2015. I salute you and wish you strength, compassion, and wisdom. Go out there and change the world. And as I leave this stage, I want to thank every family member who stood behind these graduates with love and sacrifice. I want to thank the teachers and mentors who shaped them with wisdom and patience. I want to thank the patients who trusted them and gave them purpose. And to the graduating class of 2015, thank you for choosing the path of healing. Thank you for your courage, your compassion, and your strength. Now go out there and change the world. Thank you.